I would say Team 1 was definitely one of the hero picks here, mostly because this Widow is going to create so much space and so much pressure. And if we look at the DPS line of Team 2, they really don't have a whole lot that can deal with this Widow. Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing Shockwave, the new Philadelphia Fusion DPS player. Here he is playing on his account 9K. Obviously 9K is the new head coach for Philadelphia Fusion. This is his Smurf account. As we can see here, both teams looking pretty stacked. KSA, the rank 1 Sigma player on the enemy team, they have Exarath. I believe he's an NA contenders player. He's hailing from Europe. Don't really know any of the rest of the people on Team 2, but I know that Ball, I think Tesla 69420 is Ball Overwatch. Team 1, we see Majed. Everybody knows Majed, Saudi Arabian support player. Obviously Fuki, the god tier tracer from Saudi Arabia. I also coach Fuki. Chaos off tank. I believe he's a tier 3, tier 2 off tank. I believe tier 3. And then Tubo and the Mercy, I'm not sure who they are. But regardless, very, very stacked game. And I'm interested to see here Shockwave, because I haven't really seen much of his play, to be honest with you. I saw a little bit of his play in the Vancouver Titans, but not a whole lot. So I'm interested to see how he performs here. Comes out on Widow, but then goes to swap. Decides to swap. Interesting decision. I'm not sure why. But anyway, here we have him playing the soldier. Here's the ball behind. Goes to pressure the ball out. A lot of good damage there on the ball. He is getting the pocket. Putting some pressure there on KSA's shield. He rotates over towards the left side here. I believe he's rotated here because the Ashe was pressuring him from this position in the window. And obviously, when he's playing the soldier, he needs to be very aware that he's playing in a stacked game. This Ashe can quite easily damage boost one-shot him to the head. So he wants to create some distance between him and this Ashe. Firing those right clicks through. A lot of good damage onto this Zen. He's rotating towards left side now. I believe he's rotating towards left side because he also sees the enemy Ashe is rotating towards his main. So he's going to full swap now on the map. A lot of good pressure now from this angle here. This is a good angle. Mercy's backed off, so he's not getting at that pocket. Mercy leaves him, and so he ends up dying. But I like that angle he's taking there. A lot of good pressure.
Mission ain't over yet. Activating the barrier.
Funky little angle there. I like that angle. Does need to be careful of the wall boop there. Sees Sigma is pressuring him. He decides to come main instead. Oh my god. Nice stick there from the tracer. So he's now on the Widow. He swaps off the soldier. To be honest, I was surprised to see him on the soldier in the first place. Maybe he just doesn't want to play Widow into Ball Tracer. But he's now on the Widow. He's now back on the Widow. Just playing from the main here. And this is exactly where Widow wants to be, right? She's in a position where she's uncontested and she has direct line of sight towards the point. I think potentially the reason he swapped onto Widow here is because Soldier is good constant pressure, but on the Widow here, all it takes is one pick, and you're going to get that value. Now that might sound super obvious, but we saw when he was playing the Soldier, he was getting a lot of good pressure onto the Zen, but he wasn't getting those picks. And so KSA can't shield off everything. There were a lot of times where their Zen was walking forward aggressively, he was getting a lot of good damage down, but that was getting healed up. Now on the Widow, the enemy's not going to have that opportunity to be able to heal through that. Because obviously you're just dead. He hears the Tracer left. She's backing off. He He's rotating back towards his team here. The Mercy's back, so he does come towards main. Throws off the Venom Mine left. Not the best Venom Mine, to be honest. He could have stuck this on the wall, because the Tracer's really not going to walk through that, but I think it's okay. He does hit Tracer left side. And she does walk through it. But Exarath is aware. Tracer has no recoil right now, so... Oh, nice threaded the needle there, just around the corner. Gets a really good headshot onto KSA. And now that Tracer's dead, he is just free. He's totally free right now. Because the ball is tied up. Wow. He got deleted. I'm surprised ball didn't go for the boop there. Ball's behind, he goes for the slam. Think he's going to survive. Discord on.
No one can hide from my sight.
I believe he used the grapple there just to try and avoid any damage that he was taking. Because when you're slammed, you drop in the same way every time. So he's using grapple there, I think, just to kind of reposition himself slightly. And so if we compare now, if we compare to the first round where I said that he doesn't win that 1v1 versus the enemy Ashe, even if he has damage boost. This is the problem with Soldier. And the reason Soldier isn't played that often is because if there's a Mercy pocket on both teams, you're not going to kill the enemy Ashe with Soldier because she's going to get pockets. She's going to get full pocket. You need to land a Helix to be able to kill something. So I believe that's why he swapped. With this Widow as well, he now outranges the enemy Ashe. So he's now swapped. And even though he's going to have a slightly harder time versus the Ball and Tracer, he is applying a lot more pressure to the rest of their team now with this Widow pick. And providing his team peels well, he should be okay. So far, his team has been peeling well.
Heroes never die.
The Ball does come up very close there, I believe. He just goes for the headshots there. He does get the Mercy though, so he already did a good job this fight. Again, playing in this main position, pretty straightforward as the Widow here. He's just picking these positions where he basically has the best line of sight. And this is pretty much where you want to be playing on the Ashe, on the Widow. McCree, you want to be playing a bit more aggressively. But for your Widow here, this is the best position he can be in. Gets a good shot onto Exarath there, and Fuki follows up. And yeah, this is going to be very tough for Team 2 now. They have to totally avoid... They basically are restricted... When he's playing in this main position, they're restricted to playing behind these pillars, the drum, and playing behind walls. And they have to touch this point. So, really, the only place that they can hide is in this position here, where Ball is hiding as of right now. Nice Matrix there from KSA to avoid the headshot onto his Ashe. Mercy would have 100% have died there. Really, really clean shot onto Doom. That's not an easy shot to hit. Okay. Pretty clean. So far, pretty good. I'm gonna change the title to Shockwave review. This is no longer a KSA review.
I'm ready to kill.
Give me one moment.
Let's get to it already.
Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about the compositions again. He's staying on the Widow, playing with Zen, Mercy, Ball, Sig, Tracer, Widow. So very standard stuff from this team. Team 2 is running with a slightly different composition. They have McCree and Hanzo. I think if I want to say that one team has won the so to speak the hero picks here, I would say Team 1 has definitely won the hero picks here, mostly because this Widow is going to create so much space and so much pressure. And if we look at the DPS line of Team 2, they really don't have a whole lot that can deal with this Widow. They have Hanzo, they have McCree, but realistically, those two DPS don't deal well with Widow. And to be honest, he can peek very aggressively, and he's going to have that res that can come from his Mercy. And again, if we look at this position, I think I've seen Fusion run this in strats as well. Like I've seen them play this strat where they come right side and then the Widow comes left side. And to be honest, I've ran this strat as a coach before as well in some of my teams. Widow is so good on this map because she controls so much line of sight. She controls so much space. A good Widow here is basically the reason Widow is so good is because she basically controls all of the space here, and the enemy team is restricted to playing behind cover here. If I want to play here, I have to play here. Otherwise, I play here, and I'm giving this Widow free shots on me. So if she's uncontested here, she's going to do so much, and she's going to restrict so much of the map for Team 2. Ball comes straight towards him to contest, but he's discorded, and look where Fuki is. Fuki's there on his ass, protecting him. You know, this is pretty much the best that Hanzo can do. He can fire off a few shots across, but he's fighting a losing battle here, and he needs to hit one good shot, otherwise he's playing with fire. He does drop down to try and find a different angle. Playing quite sneaky now, looking for a pick. All it takes is one extra pick. The good thing about this flank here is that this is all he needs, right? All he needs is one free shot on this Zen, and he can make this headshot. Unfortunately, he does miss. He makes the rotation, and he has grapple to get away. So he grapples out. Hanzo is pushing him. This is a good play from Hanzo. Push. But Fuki is there. Fuki's doing a good job. Fuki playing a really defensive tracer here. This is nice from Fuki. And this is really nice to see, actually. At the high level, like, you see that these teams are playing very coordinated. Team 1 playing incredibly well. And if we look at this position, like, this again is a very dominant position. I'm assuming that his team have called that Team 2 are coming left side, so he's positioning himself on this window here, and he's not looking towards the right side here. Again, this is like what I said before, right? Team 2 are restricted to playing behind this cover. Look at the Tracer, look at the Sig, look at the Brig. They're all in a lot of trouble here because of this Widow. He does get Sonic, so he drops down. He slightly messes up there with the grapple, but not a big deal. Taking this left. Oh my god, that was a disgusting shot, actually. So he hits the headshot on the Brig. Brig is now down. And again, like, if we look at the comps, Team 2, they have a Brig. They want to be actively engaging and brawling into Team 1. But Team 1, because of the positions they're taking, are making it incredibly difficult for them to do that. This Widow is causing a lot of problems.
We still need you.
Throws his Venom Mine down on the left side. Look at the ball and Tracer. Fuki's not going too aggressive. He's just kind of controlling space here. This is nice from Fuki. He sees them go right side, so he decides to change position. A little bit surprised he's taking this position because it's not quite as good of an angle as like here. But it's still a decent angle for him to play. Yeah, Eska, 9k is Shockwave. That's who we're reviewing. That's who we are reviewing right now. Big. So he takes the high ground top right. Team 2 using trance. Don't think Brig has any idea where he is. She sees where he is last minute, but she's already dead. He's looking for that Tracer. Doesn't see the Tracer.
No one can hide from my sight. The widow's
And you can see that there's no one here that can really No one that they can see here. That there's no one that Team 2 have that can really get on him right now. He's uncontested. And this is just exactly where you want to be as Widow. You want to be in situations where you're uncontested and where you can just control the game, you can control the line of sights. Pretty quick game from Shockwave. I like the Widow swap a lot. The Widow swap is very intelligent. He is doing a lot more in this Widow, and Team 2 didn't seem to have an answer to this. He didn't have a response to this Widow. Very, very clean from Shockwave. I'm excited to see Shockwave play next season for Fusion. I think he's a great pickup. So I'm very much looking forward to that. If you guys did enjoy this video, this was a bit of a short one today, but I think it was a good one to review. We haven't done Widow yet on the channel, so I enjoyed this one. If you did enjoy this, I'd really appreciate if you could drop a like on the video and maybe even consider subscribing if you enjoyed this content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.